Sherwin.
Colby, so last night there was some breaking news in that the First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump, and her husband, President Donald Trump, tested positive for COVID-19. This is a big breaking story. What are your thoughts on all of this? This could impact the election.
I'm very interested to see because President Trump had a very interesting take during the election and during the debate about COVID-19, about wearing masks. So it's a very interesting thing that he tested positive for coronavirus. But obviously, hopefully, prayers go out to his family, to Melania, to him. Hopefully they beat this and we can continue to move on.
Yeah, I mean, election's 3 weeks away. Debates are coming up, unsure whether they will happen or not. So it will be interesting to see down the road how this will all pan out. So going into last week at RMU, the Career and Professional Development Center hosted a virtual career fair yesterday. There were around 50 employers at the event, including some Fortune 500 companies. There were employers from a wide range of industries, including accounting, finance, logistics, manufacturing, and healthcare. There was a political science meeting yesterday hosted by the Political Science Club. The meeting discussed the U.S. Supreme Court along with potential upcoming hearings. Kickback at the Fireplace was also held yesterday as they kickstarted the We Matter, which is a diversity group for students who live on campus. There was a DJ, games, prizes, and food.
Last week, the 21st ranked Pitt Panthers took down the 24th ranked Louisville Cardinals in college football. The Steelers also had a slow start on Sunday, but came back to beat the Houston Texans 28-21. Penn's Colony Festival happened on the 27th in reenactment of the Virginia colony surveying western Pennsylvania. Jason Cherry also had a book signing after the event. Ethan will be sitting down with Cameron Macariola to talk about sports at RMU. What do you have for us, Ethan? Ethan and Cameron will be talking everything about RMU sports, some Pittsburgh sports, some national news. It's going to be a very interesting debate or topic. Now, Ethan, what do you have for us?
Hi, I'm here with Cameron Macariola. Cam, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So let's talk about the NBA Finals. The NBA Finals obviously started on Wednesday night. The Lakers taking Game 1. I know we've talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this Finals, and what's your prediction?
Well, I did have the Heat winning early on, but after watching Game 1 last night I believe, right?
Wednesday night.
Wednesday night. It was a rough start for them, and two of their star players, Dragic and Bam, went down. Tough injuries, and LeBron really wants that championship. So it's going to be a very hard road for the Heat ahead.
So you still think the Heat will try to pull out of this and get the championship?
I can see them getting 2 wins at most. And LeBron and the Lakers are too good right now, and they are just overpowered by the Heat. Or Lakers, pardon me.
So I know we've talked about this, but like your thoughts on like the super team and teams winning too much, the finals being so predictable. Just tell us a little bit more about that and your kind of like this, like you're against teams like building up and it's too predictable in the
yeah, my
finals.
personal opinion on that, they made basketball not fun. The Cavaliers and the Warriors, 4 years in a row. I feel like no two teams should have the same championship 4 years in a row. That's as long as a presidential term. So it just made basketball not fun. You know who's going to the finals every year, and it's so predictable. That's just my opinion, but it's a hot take.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to Major League Baseball. The wildcard round started off this week. Very exciting. I love playoff baseball to begin with. This expanded postseason is very exciting, still very exciting. A lot of games going on. Ken, what's your thoughts on this expanded postseason?
I enjoyed it so far. The games, I feel like, my opinion, they should have a couple more playoff games. Instead of best of 3, go to best of 5. Instead of best of 5 for the next round, go best of 7. Everyone loves some playoff baseball. I wish the fans could be there. That's what makes playoff baseball what it is. The atmosphere and the screaming fans are what it is, and it kind of stinks that we don't have them this year, but it is what it is.
And then what's your World Series prediction? Who you got?
Out of the West, I see the Rays taking it, and out of the East, I see the Dodgers. They are both #1 seeds. I don't want to be that guy that always predicts #1s every time, but they are the best teams in baseball right now.
Okay, so another big story of the week was that the Tennessee Titans tested positive for COVID-19. I think around like 5 players now and 5 personnel have it. So this just put a stick into the Steelers season early on. They're on a roll. How do you think this affected? How did this affect the team in general, and down the road, how will this affect their season?
Well, they're going to have the early bye week now, since of the COVID. They're going to take week 4 off, which it's kind of hurts them. They did have momentum. They beat the Texans, which are a good AFC team. Even though they're 0-3, they have a quality quarterback. It's coaching as the Texans' problem, but back to the Steelers, they were on a roll. Their defense cleaned up after the first half versus the Texans. They're producing as best quality play they can.
Okay. So Cameron, there was a move to the Horizon League for most RMU sports, along with Big South for football. How do you think RMU basketball will fare, both men's and women's, in the Horizon League going into their first season?
Well, men's basketball coming off as NEC champions, I feel like this move is what they need. They want the better quality play. They're going to be really good, and they're just going to, I feel like they're going to ride their wave after last season. We made it to the
March Madness.
NCAA, the March Madness. We didn't get to play. We're still hungry, and the Horizon League is going to, the basketball team's going to mow through them.
Okay. Well, Cameron, thank you so much for coming on to talk some sports with me. I will send it back over to Colby for more.
Thank you, Cam and Ethan. That was awesome. If you like Cam and Ethan talking about sports, then you'll love mine, Cam, and Ethan's brand new podcast, Crunch Time. It's a sports debate podcast. We debate everything from local and Pittsburgh sports to everything college and RMU. And the biggest sports news of the week. It's every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Check us out. Are you a passionate RMU Colonial sports fan? We have just a place for you. Colonial Sports Network is your home for everything going on in Robert Morris Athletics, from Joe Walton Stadium, the UPMC Event Center, the softball field, and the soccer field, and over to the Island Sports Complex. The writers and the video crew at CSN will always keep you updated on the latest news of RMU transitions to the Horizon League, and the football team moves to the Big South. Coming up after the break, Nate Breisinger will be talking about national holidays. Stick with us.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Acha. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Well, now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Jason, let's go see your room.
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes now. Could spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going through changes, through all of the strangeness. I'm going through changes now.
Welcome back to RMU Focus. To learn about the upcoming holidays, let's take a look at Nate Breisinger's favorite national holidays from this past week.
And Thanksgiving holidays. But many have overlooked the numerous national days that take place throughout the season. This past week, there were several different special occasions that I hope you were able to celebrate. To start, last Sunday was definitely one of my favorite national days of the year, as it was National Chocolate Milk Day. Even though I have chocolate milk just about every day, I made sure I stopped by the local Sheetz to grab a fresh bottle of chocolate milk to make my day great. On Monday, September 28th, it was National Good Neighbor Day. This day often reminds me of a common childhood TV show I used to tune into, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. In the intro song, he sings, "Please, won't you be my neighbor?" This illustrates the kindness and openness neighbors are expected to have, especially on National Good Neighbor Day. Hopefully you helped your neighbor with some groceries or picked up their newspaper just to make their day easier and much better. Another exciting day that happened this week was National Coffee Day, which was this past Tuesday. Did you see the lines outside of Starbucks and Dunkin'? Thank God I did not drink coffee, because I was not waiting in those. I'm sure all those avid coffee drinkers were happy they had an excuse to drink their 6 cups of coffee on Tuesday. Now coming up this week, make sure you keep an eye on the calendar for different national days, including National Boyfriend Day, National Taco Day, and National Pumpkin Seed Day. For RMU Century Media, I'm Nathan Breisinger.
Thanks, Nate, for the package. Well, my favorite holiday is Christmas. You get everything in one. You get your presents, you get food, you get a little bit of everything. As the calendar shifted into fall, people have moved their focus to the upcoming Halloween and Thanksgiving holidays, but many have overlooked the numerous national days that take place throughout the season. This past week, there were several different special occasions that hope you were able to celebrate too. Starting last Sunday, it was definitely one of my favorite.
Okay, Ethan, so we were in the newsroom earlier talking today, and our producer, Austin Bechtold, was telling us that a couple years ago, there was a person who made a news package who didn't realize that October, November, December all have a national holiday in October, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. So I want to ask you, out of those three, what's your favorite?
I mean, out of those three, like I said before, it has to be Christmas. I mean, I feel like Christmas is my favorite holiday. I mean, also because my birthday is the day after Christmas, so that adds a little bit more onto it. But yeah, you get a little bit of everything. You get your food, you get your presents, and everything like that. Colby, how about you?
I'm going to have to say it's a tie between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I agree with everything you said about Christmas, but I'm a very big sports fan, and on Thanksgiving you get the turkey, the mac and cheese, at least in my house, and then you get football all day long, and I love rooting against the Cowboys every Thanksgiving. It's just something that I love to do, and I do love the Christmas movies though. Elf and Year Without a Santa Claus are my two favorites.
For the latest news, arts, and entertainment and sports going on around RMU, make sure to check out RMU Century Media out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram to stay up to date on all things happening around campus. You can check out the website at rmucenturymedia.com. Coming up after the break, Colby and I will be discussing the latest edition of Soma Soundbites, so stick with us and we will be right back.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Wacha. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? And now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Jason, let's go see your room.
to be strangers, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes now. Could spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going through changes, through all of the strangeness. I'm going through changes now.
Welcome back to RMU Focus. We have another edition of Soma Soundbites for you.
Hello, everybody. This is Zachary Soma, giving a quick rundown of what to expect on the next edition of Soma Soundbites. Starting off, we have the new Joji album, Nectar, which is a bit of a mix of a lot of different genres, pop, rock, R&B aspects. There's some rap in there as well. I did a full review of it on the Century Media website, so if you want to hear my more in-depth thoughts there, please go check that out on the website. But in terms of just a short recap, I thought there was a lot of risks taken. He definitely changes his style on a lot of tracks. He takes a more overall pop direction, but overall I thought it sounded pretty good. There's some risks he takes that don't end up working out, but overall it is a solid release in his sophomore debut. Next is Trap Soul Deluxe by Bryson Tiller, R&B hip-hop star. He has the second version of it, Trap Soul 2, coming out later this month, so this is a bit of a teaser to it. The original record came out in 2015, I want to say, and it has a couple of new tracks on it. I think it's really good. I think it's really solid. It doesn't add too much to the original, but you know, there's a couple of new tracks that I end up adding a little bit there. Next up is Floor Seats 2 by rapper A$AP Ferg. He loses some of the eccentricity of his past records. I think this ends up being pretty much a normal by-the-numbers trap record that I don't think suits Ferg too well. There's some decent highlights. I like the track Dennis Rodman. I like the track Value, but you know, he brings on a lot of features on the project, and some of them don't end up working out. And I think that is to the album's detriment. Next, we have the album Shore by Fleet Foxes. They are an indie folk and alt country outfit that have been doing their thing for probably over 10 or 15 years at this point. I think it's a solid release. It's a nice kind of chill, relaxing album. Definitely some country elements in there. There's definitely some lulls in the track list. It gets a little boring in parts, but overall I think it's a solid release. And Spilligion by group Spillage Village. They're a collective of artists under the J. Cole Dreamville label. So we have like rapper Jid, we have the R&B duo Earth Gang, there's a couple others in there. It's a very religiously inspired album. It's very gospel based. There's a lot of gospel singing and chanting in the background of most tracks. I think it sounds great. I think there's a couple tracks that don't sound great, like Judas, but overall you have tracks like Shiva, Cupid, Palm Sing, Baptize. I think they all sound great. I think even when rappers like Jid sing, I think when they all come together as a big collective and sing together, I think it sounds great on the record. Thank you very much.
Thank you for another great edition of Soma Soundbites. So Ethan, the first thing he talked about was Joji, and he was talking about risk. And one thing that's always stuck out to me, I just found this out though, Joji is actually the old YouTuber Filthy Frank. So to me, that's actually super cool, and that's a big risk for me to take, and that's what I took away from it. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Colby, he was a former YouTuber, so I really think like a lot of content creators nowadays are trying to move into that music space, produce and make music, so I really think that was a really big risk for him to take. But the two that I'm looking at, I don't know about you, Colby, but I'm really into the hip-hop. So the two favorites that I'm going to have to check out is the Bryson Tiller album and the A$AP Ferg. Colby, what about you? Any other thoughts on Soma Soundbites?
I'm definitely going to have to check out everything you talked about. That sounds really awesome, and I think it's going to be great.
Can't get enough of hearing Colby and I speak all the time? Then check out RMU Radio. You can find popular shows such as Crunch Time, hosted by Colby, myself, and Cameron, Baldwin and the Berg, and Where is the News? You can listen to RMU Radio by downloading the Radio FX app on your smartphone or other devices to support the student-run media here at Robert Morris. If you can't catch the live shows, download the Podbeam app to listen to the podcast versions of the show. When we come back, Colby will be with Cameron McCarriola to talk about the debate. Stay right here.
All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What?
I can't drive.
Why?
My.
Oh.
Stem is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
Welcome back to RMU Focus. Colby is sitting down with Cameron to talk about the most recent presidential debate on Tuesday night. Colby, take it away.
Thank you, Ethan. Cameron, welcome back.
Thank you.
All right, so let's get started. How do you think the debate went on Tuesday night?
It was an absolute mess of a show. It was not worth the 2 hours, or I forget how long it was. It felt like 2 hours if it was, of just yelling and screaming.
So, who do you think won the debate?
I don't think anybody won it, but I know who lost it, America.
How do you think Donald Trump did in the debate?
Well, Trump was very loud and interrupting all night long to Joe Biden and the moderator, but they all did it all around. So everyone expected Trump to get the win, but I wouldn't say that.
So after that, how do you think his opponent, Joe Biden, did?
Joe Biden, he had a low bar set for him. They just wanted to see him make it through the night, which he did. So people on his side, supporters, they would say he won the night.
So after the breaking news that President Donald Trump has coronavirus, how do you think it's going to affect his campaign?
It's going to affect it a little bit. He's not going to get there as much, have his big rallies that he has been having, but Biden doesn't go out as much as him, so I feel like they'll be out the same amount. It might affect the vice presidential debate, which will be big this year, considering both of them are very old in age. And yeah, everyone's going to be looking at that debate.
So this is the final question for you. We've talked about this before many times, but I thought we should bring it on RMU Focus. Who do you think, or who do you want to be, who's your dream moderator is what I'm trying to say.
Dream moderator? I would go with Joe Rogan. Everyone loves him. Donald Trump said he's open to a debate with him, between him and Biden. They're going to sit down for a couple hours, just talk about it. Joe Rogan already has a big media presence with his podcast. They call him the podcast father. And I've listened to a lot of his podcasts, and he just sits down and talks with everybody, takes in their views, and just has a normal conversation like a human being.
All right. Thank you for joining me, Cameron. Let's take it back to Ethan.
All right. Can't get enough of RMU Focus? You can check out some of the other RMU TV shows, such as RMU Live on Mondays at 1 o'clock. You can also check out our bi-weekly show, Sports Talk in the Berg and RMU Tonight, every Wednesdays at 5 o'clock. Colonial Sports Center Thursdays at 9:30, and our new show, RMU Extra, on Mondays at 7 o'clock. Coming up after the break, Colby and I will be breaking down what's going on around campus and the surrounding area this week, and much more, so stick with us.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Wacha. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Jason, let's go see your room.
No, that's not right. How was it? Is it good?
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes now. Could spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going through changes, through all of the strangeness. I'm going through changes now.
Welcome back to RMU Focus. Now, if you haven't already known, South Park aired their pandemic episode on Comedy Central this past week. In this episode, Randy comes to terms in his role in the COVID-19 outbreak as the ongoing pandemic presents continued challenges to citizens of South Park. The children happily head back to school, but nothing resembles the normal that they once knew. Teachers, the homeroom, not even Eric Cartman is the same. The episode is now available for streaming on HBO Max. This week in Pittsburgh, the Doors Open event, Pittsburgh event, returns this year on Saturday with a unique open house experience celebrating architectural design and local heritage. New buildings to explore, including the Clark Building, Pittsburgh River Rescue Boathouse, and the Diamond Building, and more. The Pittsburgh Cultural Trust will host the Pittsburgh Humanities Festival at home. Join conversations that matter with artists, academics, and intellectual innovators exploring a variety of topics. Live events will take place every Friday evening in October. Enjoy the fall season on Mount Washington at the first ever Bingham Street Fall Festival. The festival will feature plenty of pumpkins, handmade wreaths, fall decor, and flowers. There will also be food and drink, baked goods, axe throwing, and much more.
This week at RMU, Alpha Chi Rio will hold a karaoke night for brothers, new brothers, or recruits. It's 7 to 10 p.m. at the gazebo, and the Women in Business will be holding a social bonfire from 6 to 8 p.m. on Tuesday. It will be for members in +1 at the fire pit by the gazebo. Don't miss out. There's also a mass on Sunday from 8 to 9. All are welcomed. It will be in the chapel on campus. So, Ethan, you did hear we talked about this, the Titans that tested positive for coronavirus, and it's going to delay the game until week 8, or week 7. Steelers will then play the Ravens at week 8, and giving the Ravens 2 weeks to prepare for the Steelers. What do you think?
Yeah, it's definitely going to put a damper into what the Steelers had going for them. Just a tough break for them, and hopefully they can rebound next week against the Eagles.
Yeah, obviously.
So for me, Colby, Cameron with the interviews, thank you for watching RMU Focus, and we will see you next Friday.